Hey YouTube, this is EverythingEpan here, and today we're going to be doing a Madden 17 video. This is my first video using my new capture card that I got, which is the Roxio Game Cap HD Pro, and today we're going to be doing a Madden 17 rebuild, and we're going to be rebuilding the Chicago Bears. Now these guys, they used to be my favorite team. I switched over to Carolina this year, but that was bad. But you know, the Bears, they really just need to get their together, and they need to throw Cutler out of there. I mean, it's ridiculous how they've kept him this long, and it's very, very insane on how they have been keeping him for this long. So hopefully he's gone after this year, but I'll do this as best I can because, of course, there's going to be a little bit of a delay in the screen while I'm talking, probably about a 1 or 2 second delay. So I'm going to go through real quick on what settings I usually do for a rebuild type video. So I'm going to start out in the preseason, and then my league settings here. I'm going to change the skill level to all pro, game speed very fast, turn off coach firing, turn off injury and pre-existing injury, and I'm going to make the quarter length the full 15 minutes. I don't know, I know some people don't do that, but I just feel like that's better to do it that way, honestly, in my opinion. We'll leave the play clock at 20 seconds. Turn fill raster off, even though the CPU decides to automatically sign free agents anyway. And I'm going to turn off pop-ups here. So that's kind of how I do my settings. I don't know if you guys do it differently or some people do it differently, but so we'll see how this goes here, and we're going to do some trades and stuff to start out. And so let's go ahead and we're going to go over the roster here real quick. So looking at the roster, of course, if we reorder with injuries on or off, Cutler is the starter. He needs to go. He's a 78 overall. He's 33 years old. He needs to go. Cameron Meredith has really developed at receiver. I'm definitely going to keep him on the squad, as well as Alshon Jeffrey, unless I can find something to do with him if I want to trade him. The line needs a little bit of work. I probably will trade Josh Sitton, though, and maybe Kyle Long. Zach Miller might go just because of age, but I really do like him as a player. Jordan Howard's developed really well as well. Still normal development, but had a good rookie season. And on the defense, you know, we're running a 3-4. You got Jarrell Freeman and Danny Trevathan up here, those off-season additions from last year, both with quick development, as you can see right here. So, and then Lamar Houston is definitely gone. There's no way I'm keeping him on the squad. That's just not going to happen. Pernell McPhee has definitely gone down in overall. And if I can find a couple corners, I might move Kyle Fuller to a safety because he jumps up to like an 85 overall. D-line's not looking bad. Just kind of need an end and maybe a defensive tackle if I don't want to keep Eddie Goldman. So, yeah. And of course, in the free agency list here, you'll see that Will Hill is up here, as well as Ian Williams. And Terrence Knighton was usually one that was on here, but he is not anymore. So sometimes people in the rebuilds just sign free agents right off the bat. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this first rebuild, and let's make some trades. So with this first trade, trading Jay Cutler, Willie Young, and Harold Jones-Quartley for the first overall projected pick from the Browns. Finally got Cutler off the roster, so that is a good thing there. So with this next trade here, trading Bobby Massey, Lamar Houston, and Matthew McCants for Landon Collins from the Giants, an outstanding strong safety for the strong safety spot we needed to fill in after trading Jones-Quartley, even though he was a 73 overall. So good thing that we got that spot filled, and we're going to continue to keep making some trades now. So really I was just dumping these two guys. I didn't know if they had a cap penalty or not, but Eddie Royal and Tracy Porter for a 7th rounder. They had ridiculous cap hits for their overalls, so they needed to go. Nobody had green or even yellow interest in either player, so I just decided to just trade him for a 7th round pick, and I didn't really want to risk releasing them in case they had a cap penalty, so let's continue to make some more trades. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up a couple players in free agency. So I'm going to sign Will Hill here in free agency, and I'm going to take Ian Williams as well, and also Eugene Monroe. So we're going to go ahead and get those 3 players signed and hopefully find a trading spot for them. I'm going to pick up Louis Delmas as well because he does have some value to some teams when I've done some test rebuilds in the past. So and Greg Hardy usually has interest, so I'm going to sign him as well. And then I'm going to sign Quentin Copels as well because I have a pretty good trade to make with this if I want to. It's for a player that he's a good player, but if you switch him to the right position, he's good, but I don't know if I'll get him yet. I always love to get Khalil Mack. Trading Will Hill, Ian Williams, and a 3rd round pick for Khalil Mack. This works. Literally, I did it with Terrence Knighton, though, but this works literally almost every time. I just put in Will Hill and one of those 2 defensive tackles and a 3rd round pick, and it goes through every single time. So if you guys ever want to trade Khalil Mack in a connected franchise, sign Will Hill and Ian Williams in free agency if they're still there, and also trade him a 3rd rounder, and you'll get Khalil Mack every time. It works every time. So got Khalil Mack on the roster, and I think we might do maybe 1 or 2 more trades, and then we should be able to sim. So here we're trading Louis Delmas, Greg Hardy, and Quentin Copels for a 1st round pick this year and the 1st overall projected pick next year from the Browns. So getting a couple 1st rounders here, and I think we have 1 more trade, maybe 2 still. I have no idea yet, but we're getting close. So here we're trading a future 2nd and a 4th round this year for Zach Martin from the Cowboys. I definitely need a lineman. So Zach Martin's one of the best linemen in the league, and he's definitely going to help on the offensive line, and I might move him to right tackle just because the tackle is more of a important position for not allowing as much sacks. So yeah, got Zach Martin on the squad. So here we're trading Kyle Long, Eugene Monroe, and C.J. Wilson for Matt Paredes. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And a 1st round pick this year and a 3rd round pick next year. So not really giving away too much, and got another offensive lineman. So we are definitely getting some good players on our team, and I think that might be our last trade, but I'm going to keep looking, and I'll see if there is another trade yet to go. So here I actually did not think this trade was going to go through, but I traded Christian Jones, Quiataus, I don't know how to say his name, and Sam Achu for Leonard Williams from the Jets. So I really didn't think that was going to go through. They were the only team that had green interest in all 3 of those players, so we just got another upgrade on the defensive line. So this team's looking not bad at all, and I think that might be our final trade for the first season. So here with our final trade, trading Eddie Goldman, Mitch Unrain, and a 4th round pick for the projected 3rd overall pick from the 49ers. So that is our final trade for this rebuild here. And so this is what the roster's looking like for season number 1. I moved around the offensive line a little bit, moved Paredes to right tackle, Whitehair to left guard, and Sitton to left tackle. And I did not know that Josh Sitton had superstar development, so that's pretty neat, even though he's 30 years old. And still got the same receiving core here. Zach Miller's still here. Brian Hoyer is definitely not going to be our quarterback of the future. He's just here for a year. And so we got Jordan Howard as our running back. And then this defense is definitely improved. Got Landon Collins here, and Leonard Williams and Khalil Mack on the line as well. So I'm thinking this is going to be a pretty good first season. So I need to sim to the end of the preseason and release some players, and then I'll see you guys at the midseason mark. So at the midseason mark here, we have a bye week. We're actually 6-2. So we're in the race for the division right now with the Packers and the Lions. They 6-1 and 6-2. So I apologize if there's background noise. My dog's in the background. So reeling in, Kyle Fuller's actually already got 5,000 XP. That's pretty good. On the offense, not much rolling here. Jordan Howard's actually he's actually got a decent amount. So yeah, 6-2 at the midseason mark. So need to re-sign some players. Alshon Jeffrey and everybody else honestly could probably go, other than might bring back Marquise Wilson. So let's see if we can get Alshon Jeffrey back on the roster. So Jeffrey says no as of now. He needs the bonus improved. So that's a shame. That would be nice to get him out of the way. I really would hate to have to franchise tag him. And I'm a little bit unsure about Marquise Wilson yet. I'm going to wait on him, and then the rest can probably just go. Because Connor Barth is 30 years old. I mean, I could re-sign him, but we're just going to let them be right now. And I'm going to scout. And I'll see you guys at the end of the season. So I simmed a week later, and we got Alshon Jeffrey back. So that's good to get that off of the to-do list there. And still 6-2 here, so we're going to go ahead and sim to the playoffs. And we'll see if we make the playoffs in our first year. I rarely ever have that happen. So I'll see you guys at the end of the season. So at the end of season number 1, we did indeed make the playoffs with 9-7 records. So we didn't really finish the season out the way we should have, but we still made the playoffs, and we did not win the division. The Packers went 13-3, and we just edged out the Lions for that wild card spot. So that's pretty crazy that we made the playoffs in our first year. So XP wise, wow. Leonard Floyd must have went off. Let's check out the stats here for season number 1. Brian Hoyer, 3,800 yards, 27 touchdowns, 19 interceptions, 62% completion. So, definitely not keeping him. Rushing, Jordan Howard, 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns. Very, very pretty good season for him. Jeremy Langford back up with 8 touchdowns as well. Receiving, Zach Miller led our team in catches with 78 at 800 yards and 4 touchdowns. Cameron Meredith with 700 yards, 7 touchdowns. Marquise Wilson with 999 yards. That's pretty crazy. You don't see that very often. 6 touchdowns. And Alshon Jeffrey with a very disappointing season, 700 yards and 8 touchdowns receiving. And sacks, how'd we do? Not too bad. I mean, of course, you'll have this the first year usually. So we had 9 apiece from Sitton and Paredes. So not too bad. I mean, I wish we wouldn't let up as much, but Jarrell Freeman led our team in tackles with 124. Danny Trevathan with 110. Tackles for loss would be 15 for Akeem Hicks, 12 for Khalil Mack, and 10 for Leonard Williams. And QB sacks, take a look here. 13 for Khalil Mack, 12.5 for Leonard Floyd, 10.5 for Pernell McPhee. So doing a decent job with sacks. Interceptions, 8 for Jarrell Freeman. That is quite a bit of interceptions for a middle linebacker. And then 3 for Kyle Fuller here. So, wow, Jarrell Freeman is playing out of his mind. And forced fumbles here, 3 led the team from Danny Trevathan. Fumble recoveries, 2 leading the team from Cornelius Washington. So had quite a bit of forced fumbles, not as many recoveries as fumbles. And then defensive touchdowns, did we have any? And I do see one, and that is Kyle Fuller with a defensive touchdown. So we're going to go ahead and check the awards here. So we were 23rd in total offense, and we were 4th in defense. Holy crap. That's insane. So let's go ahead and check out the yearly awards here. Aaron Rodgers wins league MVP here, and I don't expect to see any of us in here. Thomas Rawls made it in here at number 10. That's crazy. Coach of the year goes Dan Quinn of the Falcons, and we are, of course, not in here. So we are in the NFC, so let's check it out. Aaron Rodgers wins offensive player of the year. No Bears I can see here. Defensive player of the year goes to Deion Jones, a rookie. So he definitely got rookie of the year. Jarrell Freeman coming in at number 3. We can see right there, and that is it for Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Ezekiel Elliott wins that. Jordan Howard coming in at number 3. Pretty good for him. Dak Prescott and at number 10 I saw there, and I had seen Tony Romo in Offensive Player of the Year, so it's a little weird how that worked out. And, of course, Deion Jones winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Leonard Floyd coming in at number 3. That's pretty good. And no other Bears in here. So, first season, not bad at all. So, we're facing the 10-6 Cowboys here in the wild card. So, let me go ahead and upgrade my players, and I will see you guys in the game. So really overall-wise, nothing really changed here on the offense as well as the defense. I kind of just upgraded Leonard Floyd's development to quick. So otherwise, we're looking really good here. So we're going to go ahead and head into the playoff game here against the Dallas Cowboys. We're an 85 overall, and they're an 87 overall. So we'll see what Madden Simulation does to us in this game. So here we are in the game here, and we're off to a 3-0 start here in the first quarter. We're driving down the field. We score a touchdown, and Cowboys now drive and get a field goal. So it's now 10-3, now 13-3 here in the second quarter. And beginning the third quarter, we are up 13-10. So a close game here. And now the Cowboys take a 1-point lead. We drive down, score a touchdown as well as a 2-pointer. And that should put the game away, and we win 27-17, the final score in our wild card game. So it's actually a pretty surprising year so far to see that we are winning the wild card game. So we're going to move on to the divisional round here, and we'll see who we match up against. By the way, before I go any further, some people show this where they show their thing so that they see that they did not do anything to their wins and losses. They did not do a forced win. We lost 3 straight down the year. That's bad. But yeah, did not do any forced wins. You can see right here they all say none, and the only one that says home is on the bye week. So I don't know why that does that, but yeah, it's just to prove you guys that I don't, cheat, so call it. So, and here we're facing the 13-3 Packers at Lambeau Field. So this probably will not end well, but if we pull out the victory here, we're an 86 overall, they're an 88 overall. If we pull out the victory here, I don't even know what will happen. So, not planning on winning this game, so I'll see you guys in the game, and we'll see what happens. So here we are at snowy Lambeau Field, and they're already off to a 7-0 lead in the first quarter here. It's now 10-0, and they drive down, get another field goal. It is 13-0, and now we score. It's 20-7 here in the third quarter. Maybe we can make a run. It's 20-14, 23-14. We try and score. We can't do so, and it looks like the Packers are going to take the victory here as they score yet another touchdown. And the final score, 36-24. Packers are moving on to the NFC Championship, and we are heading home for the year. They actually had pretty equal performance here, except Brian Hoyer threw 2 picks and 1 more touchdown. Otherwise, not really a different performance here. So, yeah, we're heading home. I wasn't really anticipating on winning the Super Bowl first year, but that would have been pretty crazy if I would have done so. So, I don't know how many seasons I'm going to do. If I win the Super Bowl my second year, that's going to be it. If I don't, then I'm going to do another season, but this has already taken long enough as it is. It's already almost 20 minutes long, which is crazy, but let's go ahead and head into the off-season. So here we are in the off-season. As you see, Tom Brady has retired, and that always happens after the first year. So here, really, all we have to re-sign is Matt Paredes and maybe Marquise Wilson if I feel like re-signing him. So really, we're doing quite all right in the re-signing process here, and Paredes accepts. I probably didn't have to give him that much, but so Marquise Wilson, 78 overall. We're gonna bring him back, hopefully. Even if he doesn't accept, it's okay, and he does accept. So, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring Bryce Callahan back. We'll try the base contract. If he doesn't accept, it's okay. But no, he did not sign. So everybody else is gonna be released. And we're going to be moving on to the free agents here, and we're going to see who's out here. So I do have quite a bit of cap space, so maybe there's a big name free agent out here that I could take. And Andrew Whitworth is out here. This is interesting. He's 35 years old, though, so I'm definitely not going to take him. He's got superstar development, but that's an insane cap hit. Martellus Bennett's out here. That's normal. DJ Swearinger, Trey Burton, Will Hill's back out here. Terrence Williams is out here. I'm not going to take him. So really, nobody out here that I want. So we're doing all right here. So we got still quite a bit of cap space to work with here. So we're going to go ahead and sim through this offseason and keep scouting, and I'll see you guys in the draft. So in the draft here, we have the 3rd, 4th. Do we have any more picks? We do have the 16th and the 20th, as well as the 25th. So we have 5 first-round picks to work with here. So we got 2 picks here. I don't know if I'm not going to trade up. Hopefully my quarterback doesn't go. We'll see, and he does. I thought about trading up to get him, but he goes first overall to the Texans. That is a huge shame. I really want to look at what he was rated, but our other quarterback options here would be DeAndre Carpenter, would be one of them, and he didn't have a bad combine. He's more of a speedy quarterback, and then Jared Magna, who is undrafted talent. So I might take a look at what's his name, Edelman, and check out what he's rated and stuff. So I'm actually going to trade this 3rd overall pick away, and I'm going to trade it to the Saints to get their first round 15th overall pick this year, as well as their 1st and 2nd next year. So, yeah, that's a shame that Edelman went first overall. I thought about trading up to get him, but I just didn't see that as being the option right here. So, so I'm going to trade the 4th overall pick with the Redskins for the 18th overall pick, as well as the 1st next year and the 7th overall this year. So really not much, and we'll see. Hopefully he doesn't go off the board, and he does. This is absolutely just ridiculous. I'm going to have to trade for one of those 2. And I think that quarterback might have went off the board too, didn't he? He did. Yeah, we are not looking too good draft-wise here. So I'm probably just going to trade the rest of my picks away, because really I don't want anybody else in the draft here, because this draft class was not as good as I thought it was going to be. So nothing really to see in this draft here, so I'm going to just trade the rest of my draft, and I'll see you guys at the end of it. So John Edelman is an 80 overall with superstar development. Of course this would happen. This would come back to bite me. Yeah, I don't know who took the other guy, DeAndre something. I don't remember his last name. But that is a huge shame that Edelman was a 80 overall with superstar development. I always hate when I pass up on quarterbacks like that, but I'm trying to find the other guy here, and I can't seem to do so. But when I pass up on a quarterback like that, sometimes I end up trading for him. DeAndre Carpenter is an 80 overall with superstar development as well. So either one of them I could trade for if I want to, but that sucks. That really does suck. So hopefully I'm not going too close to the mic here. I'm trying to get this freaking background noise. They're screaming out there. Out of here. So I'm going to maybe try and trade for one of them. We'll see what I can do here. So I don't know why EA decides to have, when I turn off sign-off season free agents, they decide to do it anyway. So they signed Bilo Powell and Devon House. So I'm just going to trade him away for a future first. I was going to trade him for a this year first, but I couldn't for some dumb reason. And so I hate when EA does this so much. And by the way, it's going to be really, really hard if I want to trade for one of those quarterbacks, just because it's going to take a lot of draft picks, in which I have the draft picks to do so. It's just, maybe I will do it instead, but I'll see what I can do. So here I simmed to the midseason mark, and we are 4-3. And you see Khalil Mack needs to be re-signed, and we're sticking with Mike Glennon, I guess. I don't know why this had to happen, but we got some players to re-sign here. We got actually quite a bit. And they signed Haloti Nada. I don't know why they think they would need to do that, but let's get Khalil Mack back on the roster here. And he does accept the offer, so that's good at least. And then we got a couple more players to re-sign here. So I got to show you guys, Zach Martin didn't accept, and Nakeem Hicks does not accept as well. This is not going well. This is not going well whatsoever. I don't know why this has to be the case. But at least Zach Miller accepts. Cameron Meredith is up next here. And he will accept as well. Yep. And Kyle Fuller. Wow, we are running out of cap room, and we are running out of it fast. This is not good. Kyle Fuller does accept. So we're going to worry about the rest of them later. And we're going to go ahead and scout and then sim to the end of the season. So I signed to the next week, and Zach Martin accepted his contract. And I got Akeem Hicks left to go here, and then we should be good to sim to the end of the season. And Akeem Hicks does accept. We are really running low on cap room here, because you'll see that at the end of the season it'll be just tragic. So we're going to sim to the playoffs here, and we'll see if we make it or not. So at the end of season number 2, we did not make the playoffs, and we have low confidence from a lot of our players on the offense. And there's some on the defense as well. So this is not looking good for us. We went 6-10. That's just depressing. That'll get us, hopefully, a low draft pick. But wow, this was a disastrous, not really disastrous season, but not a good season whatsoever. Mike Glennon, 3,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 13 picks with 58% completion. So, okay, not bad, but still not going to be our future guy. And Jordan Howard with a down year with 1,100 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Langford had 3 touchdowns as the backup. Receiving, Zach Miller led our team in catches with 82, had 900 yards and 7 touchdowns. So good performance this year by Zach Miller. Jeffrey's just still disappointing, 800 yards and 4 touchdowns. Just disappointing. Blocking, let's see how many sacks were let up. 15 from Josh Sitton, 4 from Paradis, and then 1 from some players down there. Defense, Jarrell Freeman led our team in tackles, 124. Danny Trevathan with 105. Tackles for loss, we had 15 from Leonard Williams, 13 apiece from Khalil Mack and Akeem Hicks. And QB sacks are down from last year, 8.5 from Khalil Mack, 7 from Pernell McPhee, 6.5 from Akeem Hicks, and 6 from Leonard Williams, and I also see 5.5 from Leonard Floyd. Interceptions, 3 from Jarrell Freeman and Danny Trevathan leading the team, 2 from Collins and Crevon LeBlanc. So really we're having a down year just all around. Forced fumbles, Kyle Fuller led our team with 2. Fumble recoveries also led the team with 2. And defensive touchdowns, I don't think we had any. We did, actually. Danny Trevathan got 1. So we are just not performing whatsoever. We're 31st in offense and 16th in defense. Definitely nowhere close to what we were last year. Aaron Rodgers wins MVP again. Don't expect any Bears in here. Coach of the year goes to Jay Gruden of the 12-4 Redskins. So pretty good there. NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Aaron Rodgers. Ezekiel Elliott at number 2. I saw that. And Dak Prescott's in here as well. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Mason Foster of the Redskins. That's pretty interesting. And no Bears in here as well. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to DJ Crawford of the Vikings. And no Bears in here. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Gordon Breaston of the Saints. And we did have Antoine Arkin in here at number 7. That was about it. So this is definitely a huge down year from last year. So yeah, we are going to sim to the offseason, and I'll see you guys in the offseason, either in the re-signing, the offseason free agents, or the draft. So here in the draft, we do not have the first overall pick, and I did scout a quarterback that will more than likely go to number 1 as well, if that's the case. So we have the 3rd and 4th overall picks, as well as the 8th, 10th, 11th, 26th, 27th, 30th, and 32nd. We also have the 35th, 36th, and 40th in the second round. So the 49ers and the Dolphins are up here. And if one of these two teams needs a quarterback, if the 49ers need a quarterback, I am trading my pick with them because I am not letting another quarterback slide out of my reach. So if we go to roster here, when we go to the 49ers, let's check them out here. They definitely need a quarterback, so I'm going to trade my one of my picks for the first overall pick. So here I traded my third overall pick, and I traded away Pernell McPhee for the first overall pick from the 49ers. I can always pick a linebacker in the draft, or I could trade for one later on because I do have $44 million in cap. But we have the first overall pick now, which is good to say that. And with this pick, I'm going to be taking Mason Gerberry, a quarterback out of USC, had an insane combine, and his stats are pretty good. So hopefully he's a good player. Let's see what he is. And he is a 78 with normal. Oh, my God. That's okay. I mean, I really wish he had at least quick development, but not much you really can do there. So, at least I got my quarterback, and I'm sure these guys will take. The 49ers did indeed take a quarterback, and don't really think I'm looking to draft anybody else here. So I might trade this pick away, unless, is there a linebacker here that I could take? Because I just did trade away Pernell McPhee, and I'm not going to take him because his stats aren't that good. I don't think I really need any of these guys. Ooh, he's early first-round talent. So I'm going to go ahead and take Tannen Bazinez here, a 3-4 pass rusher out of Miami. Had a pretty decent combine, has decent stats, so hopefully he'll be a decent replacement for Pernell McPhee, and he is an 81 overall with superstar development, ranked number 1 in the entire draft, and we took him at number 4. Very good player here, so he will definitely be a good replacement for Pernell McPhee. So I'm glad we got him, and now really all we're missing is a cornerback, and I believe, I don't know if he's a early first-round talent. He's a mid-first-round talent, and we are at the 8th. We're going to reach a little bit here for him. Tyree Porcher. He's a 78 overall with superstar development, so this draft is not going too bad to start off. So he's ranked number 14. We drafted him at number 8, so we reached a little bit. It didn't say we reached, but superstar development definitely helps, and I'm glad we got him. So not sure what I'm going to do with the rest of these picks yet, so I'm going to see what moves I could possibly make. So here I'm just going to be trading the rest of my draft away. I don't need anybody else, so I'm going to be trading these picks away, and I will see you guys at the beginning of season number 3. So here we're trading my center and a second-round pick for Travis Frederick from the Cowboys. Other than that, really, I don't see a point of making any more trades because you see the offense. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I would trade for another receiver, but you know, I would give up 3 first-round picks and it still wouldn't go through. Defense honestly looks decent as well, so I might try and trade for a corner if I think it's needful. But other than that, I think we might be good to go, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so this is an absolutely ridiculous trade, but we're trading 3 first-round picks for Chris Harris from the Broncos. You guys will probably kill me being like, why the heck did you trade 3 first-round picks for Chris Harris? Well, I have no corners, and I had no choice. So, yeah. This is what the team's looking like. This is going to be the roster for season number 3 and the final season. Hopefully we make the playoffs and don't stink this year. And hopefully Mason Gerberry leads us to the promised land for 1 year. So let's go ahead and sim to the midseason mark after I release some players. So here we are at the midseason mark. And we're 5-3 in competition with basically the entire division is in the race right now. So, yeah, we are on track. We're doing what we need to do, and players need to be re-signed. But of course, Since this is the final season, I will not be worrying about that. And I won't really be doing any revisiting the rebuilds because there's no way I'll be able to because I'll have no cap room. So we're going to go ahead and sim to the playoffs, and hopefully we make it. Even if it's a wild card spot, I'll just be glad that we made the playoffs this year. So I'll see you guys then. And of course, at the end of season number 3, we don't make the playoffs. That is insane. We finish 8-7-1. The Vikings win the division at 10-5-1. The Packers finish 10-5-1. Wow. This is a depressing rebuild. Well, let's go ahead and check out the stats for this year. And Mason Gerberry, 3,600 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 13 picks. Not receiving, rushing. Jordan Howard, 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns. Jeremy Langford with 6 touchdowns as well. Receiving, Marquise Wilson led our team in catches with 78, 900 yards and 11 touchdowns. Cameron Meredith, 73 catches, 700 yards, 3 touchdowns. Zach Miller, 68 catches, 680 yards and 6 touchdowns. And Jeffrey's just continuing to be disappointing with 800 yards and 5 touchdowns. Sacks allowed, 12 for Josh Sitton, 2 for Paradis. This is just insane how this ended up. Danny Trevathan led our team in tackles with 134. Tackles for loss would be 11 from Khalil Mack, 9 from Leonard Williams. QB sacks, 12 from Akeem Hicks, 11 from Khalil Mack and Leonard Floyd. Interceptions, 5 from Chris Harris, 4 from Kyle Fuller, 3 from rookie Tyree Porcher. Forced fumbles, we had 2 from Adrian Amos, Khalil Mack, Tannen Basnez, and Danny Trevathan. Fumble recoveries, 2 leading the team from Danny Trevathan, and defensive touchdowns. We had 1 from Pierce Crawford. And, this is just crazy how this ended up. I don't know how we didn't make the playoffs. So we were 23rd in offensive yards and 18th in defense. So year 1 was our best year because we made the playoffs. And Dak Prescott wins MVP of the 14-2 Cowboys. That's crazy. No Bears in here. Coach of the year, of course, goes to Jason Garrett. And NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Dak Prescott. Mason Gerberry in there at number 10. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Bobby Wagner of the Seahawks. No Bears in here. Offensive Rookie of the Year, of course, goes to Mason Gerberry. And that other quarterback was in there at number 2. Andrew Scherf of it's got 7, and Devontae Carson at number 9. I don't know who those are, but Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Nigel Bledsoe. So Tannen Bassinez didn't even get Defensive Player of the Year. Tyree Porcher at number 3. So, and then Curry McDuffie, don't know who that is, at number 9. So that's going to conclude the rebuild, guys. That was very disappointing that we didn't even make the playoffs in our last year, and this was definitely by far the best squad out of all 3. So leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it. If you want me to do some more rebuilds, let me know in the comments section which team I should do next. And so I want to appreciate Bengal for the video idea. He was the mastermind of creating the rebuilds. And so you should definitely check him out. And I'll leave a link in the description to his channel. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. Like I said, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Leave a comment on what team I should do next, and also for more video ideas. And don't forget to subscribe. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.